Hello, online student. We're looking forward to you completing the eLearning intro. But before you get started, let's do a quick walkthrough so that you'll know what to expect. The eLearning intro has 3 lesson folders: Preparing for Online Learning, Blackboard Bootcamp, and Online Learning Expectations. Lesson 1, Preparing for Online Learning, contains important information students need to know to prepare for online courses at Wake Tech. You will review information such as software and computer requirements, as well as information on resources and tools such as libraries, computer labs, and email, among other things. Lesson 2, Blackboard Bootcamp, reviews the necessary Blackboard skills to be successful in online courses at Wake Tech, such as navigating Blackboard, communication tools, and completing assignments and tests. Lesson 3, Online Learning Expectations, examines the skills and mindset required to excel in online learning environments. Now, let's take a closer look at the eLearning Intro course to see how all of this is applied. When you open each lesson folder for the first time, a pretest will be visible. The lesson pretest will help determine how much you already know about the lesson's content. Each lesson's pretest can only be taken once. If you pass the pretest with a score of 90 or higher, you will be able to move on to the next lesson. If you don't pass the pretest, that's okay. It just means the lesson has information that you will need to learn or review. Once you take the pretest, lesson content appears in the folder. Read through the lesson materials and then take the lesson post-test. You will need a score of 90 or higher on the lesson post-test to move on to the next lesson. If needed, you can take the post-test more than once until you achieve a passing score. It is, however, recommended that you review lesson content carefully before trying again. When you're ready, you'll begin by selecting Lessons here in the navigation menu to the left. Before you can begin Lesson 1, you will have to review and interact with a short video on course delivery methods at Wake Tech. This video contains helpful information on the types of online courses at Wake Tech, which will be helpful for you as you begin to register for courses. After you've reviewed the video and answered the associated questions, Lesson 1, Preparing for Online Learning at Wake Tech, will be visible. It is the first of the eLearning Intro's 3 lessons. Select the folder's title to open it, and you will see the pretest. When you complete the pretest and submit it, take note of your score. Is it above or below 90? If you score a 90 or higher, this congratulatory badge appears, which means you're ready to move on to the next lesson. Remember, if you score less than 90, you cannot retake the lesson test. You will see a warning message advising you to review the lesson content before attempting to take the lesson post-test. Carefully review the lesson content and mark each lesson as reviewed, and then complete the lesson post-test. Please note, failing to mark the lesson as reviewed will prevent the next lesson from opening. You can take the lesson post-test as many times as needed until you have achieved a grade of 90. When you score a 90 or higher on the lesson post-test, a congratulatory badge appears, which means you can move on to the next lesson. After you successfully complete Lesson 1, the Lesson 2 folder, Blackboard Bootcamp, should become available in the Lessons area. Just like you did earlier, you'll select the folder's title to open it and begin by taking the lesson pretest to determine how much information you already know about Blackboard. If you do not score a 90 or higher on the pretest, just as you did in Lesson 1, review the lesson content, remembering to mark each lesson as reviewed as you finish reviewing them. When you have finished reviewing the lesson content, you can attempt the lesson test as many times as needed until you've scored a 90 or higher. Once you've scored at least a 90, the congratulatory badge will appear and you'll be ready to move on to Lesson 3. After you've completed Lesson 2, the Lesson 3 Online Learning Expectations folder will populate in the Lessons area. You will follow the same steps in Lesson 3 as you did in the previous 2 lessons. Begin by selecting the folder's title and attempting the lesson pretest. If you score a 90 or higher on the pretest, congratulations, you've completed eLearning Intro. If you do not score a 90 or higher on the lesson pretest, review the lesson content and complete the Lesson 3 post-test until you score the required grade of 90 or higher. Once you successfully completed the eLearning Intro course, you will see a congratulatory badge in the Lessons area. You can also refer to the My Grade section of the course menu to review your ELI status and see whether it's set to complete or incomplete. After completing the eLearning Intro course, please wait for about half an hour to an hour for our system to update your information. Then you can go to WebAdvisor to register for your online courses. After you've taken the eLearning Intro course, please take a few minutes to complete the eLearning Intro survey in the Lessons area. Your feedback is valuable to us. Now that you know a little bit more about the eLearning Intro, it's time to get started. Read the information below this video and then head on over to the Lessons area.